Welcome to 8's Elite Athletes. Today we are talking to a Tampa fencer, Zsofia Walter. She is attending Duke, where she is on the fencing team. Thank you for joining us today, Zsofia. And how in the world did you get into fencing?
Well, when I was younger, me and my brother would always watch those typical like medieval knight movies. And so we saw a fencing ad and my brother was immediately like jumped on it, really wanted to go. And me being his little sister, I had to do everything he did. And so that's how I started.
And I know when you moved to Florida a few years ago, it was not easy to find a fencing club or team, right?
Yeah, the closest one that I could find was 2 hours away in Orlando. So that was definitely a difficult commute to get over there.
Definitely. But it did get you to Duke, so that's wonderful. Fencing is much more athletic than people might think, isn't it?
For sure. I think most people aren't very well acquainted with fencing. Most people will tell me, isn't that what they had in Parent Trap? And so I think people aren't really acquainted with what it looks like in the modern day. And it's definitely a very explosive sport.
Well, I know you shared these videos with us of your workouts. I see you're there by the Tampa Convention Center, but you're working on footwork, speed, endurance. Is that what you're kind of doing during this time of lockdown and trying to stay in shape?
Yeah, for sure. I'm focusing a lot on being active every day, finding little things, biking with my sister, playing badminton, running. But mostly every other day, I'll go out for these more difficult, more strenuous exercises where I try to keep my muscle and not lose everything that I worked for this entire season over this quarantine.
Yeah, that was your freshman season. You almost squeezed the whole thing in before we all got locked down, correct?
Yeah, we were only missing the NCAA championships.
Okay, tell me what's the hardest part about fencing?
I think it's one of those sports where because it's an individual sport and you're also with like interacting with somebody else, so it's not like gymnastics or one of those sports where it's about performance and something where you can practice until you get it right. Because it's a dialogue between you and the other person, it's constantly changing depending on who your opponent is. And I think that's the hardest part of the game is you can prepare physically as much as you want, but in the end, it's you against that person and you have to outsmart them.
So interesting. Thank you for joining us today, Zsofia, and best of luck in your sophomore year at Duke. We'll hope you're back on campus in the fall. And you can watch
Thank you.
more of 8's Elite Athletes on WFLA.com.